Good morning, Brownsville. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you are watching this film. It is Monday, April 28th. If it's your first time here, make sure you like the page. We are streaming this live feed on Facebook and also on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure you create an email and subscribe to YouTube. We are currently at 312 subscribers. Our goal is by the end of this year to be at 1,000. I can't do this without your help. The little that I ask of you, if you are a regular on Good Morning Brownsville, is support the cause. You could like, comment, and share this feed right here. But also, what you can do and help me out is go to YouTube, create an email, and subscribe. Um, that's all I ask. Also, if you would like to contribute, you can subscribe to our Facebook page. You get exclusive access to merchandise, OF content, and yes, feed pics. So make sure you subscribe on Facebook. Good morning, Mr. Garcia. How was your weekend? We did see that you did have an event with other candidates this past weekend. Let us know how your event went. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I know today it feels kind of but I promise you, once we get into the thick of things and start rolling, our Monday will turn out to be a lot better. Today we're going to talk about the arena. It seems as if the voters have been coming out. We will be starting off with the numbers. It's important for us to see what's out there. Are people coming out to vote? Is this something to where voter apathy really is taking, holding Brownsville down, so to speak? It's alarming whenever we see a big city and only have, as of right now, 4,000 people come out to vote on paper. But we'll be talking about that soon. So we'll be talking about the arena today. It was an amazing opportunity. Blessed with our community with 1,000 chicken plates. There you go. Mr. Garcia did hold a function. And again, good luck to you in your campaign. And let us know whenever you would like to jump on. Arena. Yes, we're going to talk about the arena because we're starting to see how Cameron County is coming out to vote. I'm going to be repeating myself possibly throughout this broadcast, but it's alarming whenever you have Northern Cameron County cities such as Harlingen, La Feria, San Benito, Santa Rosa, Santa Maria, La Feria have higher numbers than Brownsville. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but my understanding is that Brownsville is the biggest city in the valley and for sure Cameron County. So for the numbers for the city of Brownsville races to be down in comparison to the arena shocks me. I decided to talk about the arena today, Flores, because it is a very controversial issue. We have seen how this is the third time that it's going to be on the ballot in recent years. Is third time a charm? Will this arena eventually pass? We have spoken about how Judge Eddie Treviño has been making a case for Cameron County. Is it good enough this time? As a politician, one has to be a visionary. When we think about those individuals that have been known in politics to really impact either their district, their city, their school, the school board, we think of individuals that probably thought outside the box, did things against the norm, made a name for themselves and said, hey, this guy was a trailblazer. This woman was a trailblazer. They went against the grain for something that ultimately would benefit us all. Is that the case with the arena? Is Judge Eddie Treviño a visionary? He talked about on a podcast how back when he was the mayor for the city of Brownsville, he was an advocate for the arena. He said that 20 years ago, the arena would come out to 20 to $30 million, a substantial amount, but nothing in comparison to the asking price right now. And in this world so full of uncertainties right now, where it seems as if the US of A is at odds with every global power, which causes uncertainty in the market on a global stage, which ultimately causes prices to increase. Everything's a lot more expensive. It is calculated that the arena, if built today, will come out to 200, possibly up to $250 million. So, yes, Flores, I want to talk about the arena because it seems as if Cameron County is upset, and I'm basing myself based on the numbers. Um, Many people. It's also important for us to understand how people are voting. We have heard how individuals have stated, "Well, how does each candidate? How do? What's their vision of having an arena?" Many have dared and said, "You know what? If that candidate is for the arena, I can vote for them." Individuals have already cemented themselves and said, "You know what? This is not for me." So this is something that I do want to talk about, Flores. I do want to stress and show the community, hey, maybe this isn't going to pass after all. Many people have questioned and argued, why are we seeing this on the ballot again? We voted twice. We voted it down twice. Is this something where a politician is being a visionary and trying to promote economic development, economic growth? And the only way we could do that is the famous phrase that we've been hearing: if you build it, they will come. So today we'll be talking about making the case for the Cameron County arena that will be located in the city of Brownsville. Voter apathy has always been a problem here. Voter burnout in Texas is common because there seems to be a bunch of elections every year. We can talk about the many different reasons why voter apathy exists um, throughout the country, throughout the nation. Many people are dissatisfied with our local government. We are promised the world, but ultimately we end up with peanuts. It's that constant relationship where I'm going to change, I'm going to change, I'm going to do better for you and for us, but that change never comes. And we've possibly have been in those type of relationships. Heck, we ourselves, I'll speak for myself, me myself have probably been part of that problem. So, voter apathy, voter apathy, what's the main reason for it? We can talk about corruption in Brownsville, how that has plagued and have caused the constituents to question, does my vote really count? Is this rigged? No matter what happens, at the end of the day, they're going to do what's in their best interest and not mine. We have heard that before. What I want us to really study and evaluate is the pros and the cons. Is this what we need? And let us not forget, we live in an area in which we are one of the poorest in this country. When we talk about education, we don't fare very well. with others, our literacy. Are we losing that because of the new wave of technology? Or is our area just not capable of producing good standardized numbers in regards to education? So, is there a case to be made for the Cameron County Arena? Are we not seeing things that are out there that could eventually help us? Are we so close minded and have tunnel vision to where we don't need this? We're fine the way we are. Many people have said, oh, well, y'all haven't traveled out. Y'all haven't seen the world. You haven't seen Dallas. How did Dallas grow? How did Houston grow? How did San Antonio grow? Because they have arenas, they have events, they have focus on economic development and growth, which has caused for the outside community through a visitor's tax to ultimately pay and fund whatever endeavor the city, or county, municipal entities, whatever economic development they previously had. Is it important for us, Treviño, to keep the tax money in our community? Because ultimately, whenever we go to concerts, to dances, to shows, to performances in Hidalgo County, we're spending our money and giving it to them. Is this a case, how Treviño says, we should keep our money within our community? If we don't invest, we won't grow. We have to think big. So that's what I want to talk about today. Making a case for the Cameron County Arena. Is this something that we as voters don't see? We don't have the vision that these individuals do? Because whenever you speak to a developer, whenever you speak to an investor, you know what they're going to say? Build it. How much does it cost? What's the study? What's the market in this area? What's the market in neighboring counties? Speak to a realtor, speak to an investor, speak to a loan officer, they'll buy you, they'll tell you buy, sell, build. They want action. They need action. Many people have questioned and said, well, is it in our best interest down the road? Because we could anticipate having a honeymoon, right? Just like any relationship where the first few years is probably amazing. Wow, I should have done this earlier. But then once you start getting to know the person, and little by little, you start seeing their flaws and their imperfections, and you say, I don't know. I'm starting to regret this. She likes the temperature at 69, 80 degrees, and I like it at a cool 75. Problems start creeping up after the honeymoon, right? But does Jesus Treviño make a great point? Are we losing out by us not having that vision where instead of sending the money to the state, we keep it here in-house? Is it? Cruz goes on to say, we need it. The only concerts we have are local bars and Sombrero Fest. Everything else, we have to travel outside of Brownsville. Are these individuals such as Cruz and Treviño making valid arguments? Do we need something here? Rafa says it's always some candidates. It's always the same candidates. And when someone new tries to run, people choose what they're familiar with. Possibly. And we could possibly even see that with these new candidates. At the at-large position, we have one current commissioner, one former, and two new, I don't want to say two new names, but two individuals that are running for the very first time. Is this a case where the city will elect someone that hasn't represented them? Are they satisfied with the direction, either previously or current, that the city commission is taking and possibly might vote for a Jason Moody or a Alejandro Garcia? Would it shock any of us if they both are in a runoff? What is the direction in which the county is leading? Again, many constituents have asked openly, what's the candidate stance on the arena? Because people, depending on the candidate's answer, will either vote for them or consider them or not. It's interesting, isn't it? Good morning. Good morning, Vela. I'm going for the Pascal look this morning. We need more concerts down La 14. La 14. La 14, from what I remember, back in the 80s, early 90s, man, it was thriving. Downtown Brownsville was everything. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think of La 14 is Charlie's Bar. Charlie's Bar is famous, has been there for many years. And that at one time in the city of Brownsville was the entertainment center. Who can forget how downtown Brownsville, La 14, was hustling and bustling, was the place to be, and how downtown was beautiful. Now we have seen how Brownsville has been growing into Los Fresnos, into San Benito, into Olmito. That is ultimately where this proposed arena will be held. But do we need more concerts here in the local area? Are we doing a disservice by us going to Hidalgo County and spending their money for that? La 14 and Charlie's Bar, it's a small establishment. I'm not sure, at one time maybe it was a large venue that held up hundreds of people, but it's a small place right now. Again, I don't know if previously it was larger, but it wouldn't be able to hold a concert per se. Maybe a small one for the patrons in that bar, but many people have argued and said, hey, we need something. The Jacob Brown Auditorium is outdated. It used to hold concerts. Currently, it holds fights. It holds mariachi events. It has held school functions. But Jacob Brown was also big probably in the 70s, 80s? Where that also was an attraction within itself. And the commerce, international commerce, was something that was big. People from Mexico, from Matamoros, would come and spend their money. Now we don't see that. But Jacob Brown at one point did held these concerts. We, the people, need to start a movement in which we get organized and go vote. There's thousands of registered voters, and only a few go out to vote. You can't complain if you don't vote. It is crucial for everyone to vote so there can be their voice be heard. I ask all the 555 voters for District 2 that voted for me when I ran to vote for Alejandro. District 2 for Alejandro Garcia for commissioner at large. I think the last place that would be an artist was International Convention Center. International Convention Center? I'm not sure about that. The 70s. The 70s was a Jacob Brown time, wasn't it? Well, again, are we having a case of where we as constituents, we don't see that vision? Judge Eddie Treviño and other politicians, such as other entities, such as Mayor Cowan from the city of Brownsville, the UTRGV president, have openly endorsed, supported this idea. Is it what we need? Is it something that we aren't seeing because possibly we're not visionaries as they are? that is something that we will be talking about today. What are the cons for building the arena? And again, is this something that we as podcasters being on the tube where Dr. Zamir's the International Convention Center, that used to be a convention center? I don't remember. I don't recall. International Convention. So that used to be a convention, and it's a good size. It possibly holds what, 500 for sure, possibly 1,000 people, depending on the fire department if they would permit that. What are the cons for building the arena? And that's what we're going to talk about, Santos. What are the cons? Because according to Cameron County Judge Eddie Treviño, he states that the arena has been receiving a lot of backlash because there has been a lot of misinformation that has been put out. And one of the things that he has stated was, hey, property taxes will not be used to pay for this. How does building an arena affect the city of Brownsville? Al contrario, if we build it, how will this have negative effect on us? According to County Judge Eddie Treviño, he says that the property taxes will not be used to pay for this project. But right off the bat, Santos, the biggest way that it's going to affect us is that our property value will go up. Whenever we whenever we are appraised at a higher value, well, we pay more in taxes. Are we okay with spending, I don't know, $13, $15 extra a year for having something like this in our backyard? Many individuals say, I don't care what it costs, or I don't care how much I'm going to be charged. It could be $15 or $1,500. I don't want it. So that is one of the main things that the politicians haven't talked about. A CPA, a tax consultant, and a business advisor for a well-known bank has voiced their concerns and stated they voted no, which is pretty much all I need to hear to vote no on that issue. There has been a lack of information. We're already paying taxes, Santos says. According to Judge Eddie Treviño, he says that there has been a lot of misinformation out there. And he is advocating for you to vote yes on the arena. I'm going to read this very quickly. It says, Cameron County Judge Eddie Treviño Jr. has made the case for a yes vote for the Cameron County Arena project. An in-depth audio interview with the Rio Grande Guardian, Treviño points out that property taxes will not be used to fund the project. Rather, he said, much of the money will come from an existing venue tax source. He is quoted, let's go back. In November 2016 election, the voters of Cameron County approved what we call the venue tax, but I don't think it should more aptly be named the visitor's tax. Basically, he goes on to explain what it is. Basically, that visitor venue tax is paid by someone who stays in a hotel or short-term rental or rents a motor vehicle here in Cameron County. That visitor's taxes is collected by the short-term owner company, so that 2% is a visitor's tax. It is not a property tax. Now, what do we have to compare it to? Treviño gave two examples of projects that have come about as a result of the venue tax. The Isla Blanca Amphitheater on South Padre and the South Texas Ecotourism Center project at Laguna Vista. He said the tax can only be spent on economic development or tourism-related projects. That's it. You can't fix your potholes. You can't use it to fix drainage. You can't fix it to do anything. That's not tourism or economic development. Are these valid reasons why Judge Treviño is using it as and is making it sound as if, hey, we've been collecting taxes since 2016. Might as well use it. We can only use these funds for economic development. Many people have questioned and said, hey, well, let's fix our roads. Many people are upset about that. When we go to Channel 4 and other pages, we have seen how people have complained about not having proper infrastructure. It seems as if, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, it seems as if elected officials are always quick to focus on pet projects, on things that many constituents argue and state that will only benefit them. Again, I understand as a politician, you want to make waves, you want to do something great for your community, for your constituents. Are we as a region, as an area, just so narrow-minded that we can't think big? Is this a case of they've already told us that the taxes will not go up, which they didn't. They just increased the value of the house. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. What's the third shame? No, pues ya. Right? It's easy. It's easy for us to say that we don't need it. But the politicians have designed this in a way, and they played it masterfully, because back in 2016, that's when they went out for a vote, which the voters stated, yes, let's create this visitors tax. Let's have something where we can collect taxes from the outside community. That way, down the road, we can have something to build. Rodriguez says, we might need it, but they actually build or pickpocket the money like everything else. I spoke with an individual about the arena, and I made the argument, you know what, possibly third time's the charm. Maybe this will pass. You think the voters will let it slide? You think maybe the play with words of venue, arena, not much publication has been given to this important issue, maybe now it will pass? And he said, never forget the past. The past teaches us a lot about our area. What have we learned from Tenaska? What have we learned from the sports park? We were promised the world. It's like that relationship. We promised the moon and the stars. I'm going to be everything for you, baby. Just be mine. I promise you. My intentions are good. What happens after a while, you start seeing the holes, the kinks in the link. You start saying, I don't know if this individual is a good partner moving forward. Tenaska, how many millions of dollars were collected for us only to find out that millions and millions of dollars were spent on contracts, attorneys, vendors, engineers, and nothing was produced. The sports park, $56 million was invested in the sports park. Have you gone lately? Have you been out there? Now, land currently right now is expensive. But back 20 years ago, 15 years ago, when this endeavor was ultimately started, $56 million was nowhere to be found there. Currently, right now, I don't see $56 million. Is it land? Possibly. The majority, of course, is land. But we don't see that. But Rodriguez makes an interesting point. Do us as voters, do we need it? They'll actually build it, or will they benefit from it? Will someone benefit from it? It seems as if the voter, the constituents, had voted once, had voted it down once, voted down twice. Are we tickling the beast? Are we playing with the silent voter and saying, third time's the charm? Are we pissing off the voter and saying, ya te dije que no? Ya te dije que no. It's like that solicitor, right? Whenever we have somebody come to our house and try and sell us knives and try and mow our lawn and provide any other service for us. The first time we reject them, we say in kind, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I respect the hustle, but not at this time because I either have somebody working on it or it's not in my best interest right now. But thank you so much. And then you see that person come again for the second time. Mira, señor, yo le corto la yarda, oí lo que estoy vendiendo. Ándale, dame un paro. And what do we say? Ya te dije, hombre. Ahorita no, muchas gracias. Pero ya te dije. ¿Cuántas veces necesitas que te diga? Right? We've all experienced that where they're offering it to us once, twice. And doesn't that cause us to get a little ticked off? Oh, I already told you. Santos is saying we're already paying taxes. That is correct. Since 2016. Since 2016, there's visitors tax on hotels, car rentals are being collected. Is this a case where if we don't use it, we lose it? If Cameron County does not put those funds to work, does the state recoup it from us? Is there a certain amount of time in which we have to act on that money? Yes, the convention center would host dances back in the 90s, early 2000s. That's the last place, aside from Sombrero Fest, that artists would come to Brownsville. However, arena would be more than concerts. For example, monster trucks, Disney on Ice, more family gatherings. They still haven't provided. Cruz Vela says, questions, is this only for concerts? Remember, there have been a play with words, and politicians are very good at always going for our emotions. They know what bothers us. They know what weaknesses we have. And what is it? It's always for the betterment of our community, and it's always for the betterment of our future generations. Once we promise that this will benefit students as a whole, where it will be ideal for them, we always say, well, you know what? I guess so. We haven't had a concrete answer, Cruz, in regards to the dynamics of the arena. We don't know how many people it will hold. We don't know the structure. They still haven't decided on whether this will be for concerts only. Is it going to be open? Is it going to be closed? Right now, there are more question marks than answers. We have been told that monster trucks will be coming, Disney on Ice, where family will be able to take their kids for entertainment. What we have seen from the past hasn't been promising. Are we to allow individuals free reign in the sum of hundreds of millions of dollars to go about and spend money however they'd like. Whenever we buy a house, Cruz, whenever you sign on that dotted line, you've done your due diligence. You have contracted a realtor. That realtor went with a title company. That title company sent out somebody to inspect the home and say, is this a good investment? Is this something to where Mr. Cruz would not be at risk? Is this a good investment? And you, when you sign on that dotted line, you have all the information, right? Whenever we purchase something, we have all the information, from the ins and the outs. This is what's wrong with the house. This is what's not. It was appraised at this value, but because of certain defects, the price goes down. Or possibly there's no defects. This is a in mint condition, a walk-in ready. Here's the key. We asked for 250, and we're firm on our price, 250. With the arena, Cruz, we don't know what it's gonna be. We don't know how it's going to operate. They always go for our emotions. They went to BISD and they said, well, possibly we could hold graduations, because right now the hot topic is that students from Browns will have to travel to Edinburgh to go graduate. That's something so silly that people are making an issue about it. It's only an hour drive. It's not like if you're driving to Houston. They're playing with our emotions. But that's what I wanted to convey, Cruz. Yes, we're being promised a monster truck. We're being promised a Disney on Ice. We're being promised more family-friendly entertainment. That's the same thing that BISD promised the performing arts students with the TRE around the same time, 2016, 2017. And who can recall that day inside the boardroom? It was jam-packed, standing only, because they went for our emotions and they said, look, if you vote for this, your child will have a place to perform. And isn't that what you want? Because we care about the children. Now, I'm not there saying that these politicians don't. I'm sure they do. But at the end of the day, do they see more money, or do they see actually the community getting out to vote? Today and tomorrow are the last days for early voting. I went this weekend, went to Southmost, close, around closing time. Fast and easy, quick. So if you haven't already, make sure you go out and vote. We can show the numbers of how the city of Brownsville has been coming out. And again, I'm kind of alarmed by the city of Brownsville by not coming out here for the elections. In 3 days, we have had a little over 3,000 people, and the votes have been steady. If we look at, and again, where can you vote if you live in the city of Brownsville? You could vote at any of these early voting locations throughout Cameron County. But if you're in the city of Brownsville, you could go to the public library, the Centro Cultural in Cameron Park, Good Shepherd Church, the Judicial Courthouse, New Horizon Medical Clinic, and the Southmost Public Library. Heck, if you want to go to Starbase, you could also vote in the hub. Again, low voter turnout. We've seen 3,302 people come out to vote. And again, this is in a population of 2,000 residents on paper. So again, not very promising. 3,000 voters. Candidates are probably scrambling right now because, again, they are expecting to hit certain markers. And when those numbers aren't coming in, they're working extra hard around the clock. If we take a look at the venue, those individuals in Cameron County that voted for a venue, we see how close to 7,000 individuals have come out to vote in early voting. I find this alarming because, again, the city of Brownsville to me, well, obviously on paper, right? It's the most populated city in the Rio Grande Valley, bigger than McAllen, but our numbers are down. 3,000 people went out to vote for city elections. In Cameron County, for the arena, we get double that amount. Close to 7,000 people come out to vote. What does that lead us to believe? Me personally, people are pissed. Maybe we are tickling that sleeping giant and saying, didn't I already tell you that I didn't want this arena? Is this something to where they thought their time would be the charm, but because again, 7,000 people came out to vote for the arena. We can already imagine how residents in Harlingen, Port Isabel, San Benito, La Feria, Santa Rosa, how they're opposed to it. Many people have said, hey, this is a Brownsville issue. Why should it affect us voters in Cameron County? What's your opinion, chat? Let me see. Everyone complains that we are behind McAllen. We are larger than McAllen, but we don't have the same leadership as they do. This falls on the people for not voting. People shouldn't complain if they didn't vote. Brownsville is growing at a rapid rate, and we need more than the basic taqueria, burger places, thrift stores. You forgot car washes. Rosas. Vote for change. It's more than concerts. High school state finals for powerlifting, Skills USA, HOSA, school-related functions are held at the AT&T Center and venues just like the ones they propose to build. We can host that here. That's nice, but do those bring in revenue? No. Other arenas such as the AT&T Center and others that are in big cities are able to host these events and not charge or not generate any sort of revenue because they have other big concerts and whatnot. We already pay for taxes. We hate. So what's new? Tell me about it. McAllen had Otho Brand. Brownsville has never had an Otho Brand type of leader. Otho Brand was a business owner. He currently ran for mayor, if I'm not mistaken. My understanding of Otho Brand was that he was a business owner and he treated the city commission in McAllen as a business. And possibly that has what differentiated or has created the gap between McAllen and Brownsville. Everybody always complains about it. Why is McAllen better? We have everything. They are so culturally diverse and have a wide range of entertainment. But the big difference is that McAllen is a metro city where they depend heavily on Edinburgh, Far, San Juan, Alamo, as opposed to Brownsville. We're in a delta? No, we're at the very end, which Brownsville at one point used to heavily rely on international commerce from Matamoros. We are not seeing that now. All that money is possibly going into McAllen. Monterrey is investing money in McAllen and San Antonio. That has probably led to the gap, so to speak. I'm sure many people will benefit under the table from those building companies. And that, Mr. Mendoza, that is the reservation that many constituents have. What have we learned from our past? What did we get from what were we promised with Tenasca? What were we given? What were we promised with the sports park? What were we given? Are people going to benefit from this? The constituents are probably seeing the dollar signs in the millions and millions of dollars. And they're probably hesitant, Mendoza, to give that power to our politicos. We need to build so Browns could grow and leave something for our kids and grandkids. Santo has been making the point, the case for Cameron County Arena. Santos has said previously, we're already being taxed on it. Might as well use it. If we don't use it, the state's going to recoup that money. We need to build the arena so we can grow. We need to leave something for our kids. What does Frankie have to say about the arena? How will Frankie vote? There are too many question marks, too many red flags for me that haven't been answered. Again, we still don't know the dynamics of the arena. Is it going to be open, closed? How many people is it going to sit? We still don't know. What is the proper functions for it? They still haven't been able to answer that. It seems as if they just want to push this and say, hey, vote on it right now, and then we'll worry about the details later. I don't know about that. Because who buys something without doing their proper research, doing their proper homework? So I voted no on the issue because there are more questions than answers for me. Arena or no arena, we still get hit with taxes we hate. So what's new? Again, taxes are going to go up no matter what. Brownsville is going through a lot of changes, economically speaking. Gentrification, we haven't even talked about that. SpaceX being in our backyard is probably beneficial, economically speaking. But in regards to our population, our current population, who live on a fixed income, who we get paid minimum wage, live paycheck to paycheck, it's not good for us. Has anyone done a survey of the Upper Valley to see if anyone will come by, if there will be a concert in Brownsville? Possibly. But whenever we think of concerts, are you ready to pay $15 for a beverage? Are you willing to pay hundreds of dollars for entertainment? Some people will. The majority of us here possibly won't. Tenaska, the sports park. Yep, ripoffs. Consultants were also those individuals that received large sums of money because of contracts through the sports park and Tenaska. What about the shadow government? Let's not talk about the shadow government. They'll come after us. The shadow government is supporting this. Good morning, Mr. Peña. Si se roban el dinero de Elon Musk, millones, there will always be corruption. They always will. What happened to Frankie? What happened to Frankie? We are at the point, just build the arena. There will always be corruption, but at least we're seeing things built for our kids and grandkids. Is this something to where we're already used to it? We demand corruption. Hey, if you're not a corrupted politician, we don't want you around. You think not building the arena, corruption is going to stop? Taxes will stop? What would be the cost to BISD to hold a graduation ceremony, art shows, band concerts? Again, we have the same questions, Vela, but we haven't received any results. So if we don't build the arena, corruption is going to stop, paying taxes is going to stop. An hour drive, but the traffic. That money for the PAC went somewhere else. For BISD, possibly. If you promise me paying taxes will stop, if you promise me corruption will stop, I will vote no. Vote no. The last time we had a family member graduate at UTRGV was in Edinburgh. It was limited seating. Is that going to change? How did Frankie vote in the arena? No. Liberty, Starbase, low IQ constituents, room temperature IQ. Of course, they're not going to vote with all the negativity out there. You're just negative. Why do you think that is? Why do I think that was limited seating? Possibly because it's not big enough, or possibly because it wasn't big enough. What is the correct choice for the future? And that's my question to you. Is this a case where the politicians, our county judge, has been making a valid argument, a valid case for this arena? He has stated how the hot tax funds were used to build the amphitheater out in the island, to build the eco area for a birding center, where South Texas is see large amounts of people come down for the birds. What is the correct choice for the future? I ask you, is this something to where our politicians, we feel as if are shoving it down our throats, but essentially are being visionaries? We already, as Santos has stated, we're already collecting this tax. Might as well build it. Maybe we won't be able to benefit from it, but our future generations will, and they will probably be in a better position moving forward than we are right now. It's alarming whenever we have double the amount of voters come out for Cameron County, because the hot issue right now is the arena. It is controversial. It is something. It is something that I haven't seen these. If you promise Frankie you will stop, I will vote no. Vote no. Wasn't San Benito going to build one? They were going to build an arena. They were, but the dynamics currently right now, they're also dealing with a lawsuit from a developer in one of the plazas where millions of dollars were at stake. So I think they kind of saw the writing on the wall and they said, no, this is not feasible for the city. But again, that if San Benito would have built an arena, that would be another convention center. And how has the convention center of the city of Brownsville been? Not very good. LOL. I am talking about Othel Brand from the 60s. I think he had a son or a grandson, because there was a candidate for, I think he's junior possibly, or the third, Othel Brand, running for mayor for the city of McAllen. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. The Othel Brand from today is his son. There you go. Monterrey money going to McAllen and San Antonio. I would rather have them build the damn arena than having the politicians pocket the money. Well, it's one of the same. Muchas gracias, Chelsea, por su cariño. Agradecido estoy con el amor y por su tiempo. Muchas gracias. Que pase un lindo lunes. Bendiciones. That's what you pay when they go to McAllen or Edinburgh. Sports Park was an arena. Vote no. Build or don't build. Politicians will still pocket the money. Show me the money. I don't know enough to state anything either way. That makes two of us. With all this negativity, of course, people won't vote. I'm going to ask Mr. Elon Musk to build the damn arena. Daddy Musk. Ask Daddy Musk. Again, a very controversial issue. Is this something to where we don't have that vision that our politicians do, and we do need something for our future generations? Or should we learn from our past, Tanasca, Sports Park, and say our politicians can be handled with this great responsibility? It is Monday, April 28th. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, you can find us here on Facebook and on YouTube Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., same Batman time, same Batman channel. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're at 312. My goal is by the end of the year to get to 1,000 subscribers. None of this will be possible. None of this would be possible without your support. I'm very, very appreciative of each and every one of you for tuning in. I take great pride in studying, researching, asking questions, coming before you and providing information. It is our hope that with this platform, we'll be able to have a civil dialogue, civil communication with one another, and give individuals options and choices and letting them decide what's in their best interest. That is the goal for this platform. We're very proud to have close to 38,000 followers, subscribers. So all I ask of you is to help me grow my YouTube page. Once again, We're at 312. I'm trying to get that to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could do me a kind favor, I don't ask for much. Create a YouTube account and subscribe to Frankie Olivo TV on YouTube. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Hope to see you here tomorrow morning. Go out and vote. Make plans. We have today, we have tomorrow, and then Election Day on Saturday. So 3 days to vote. Again, if you don't vote, don't complain. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Hope to see you whenever I see you. Peace.